Okay, hi you guys, Katelyn again. Today we are going to talk about how to save your neck at the office. More times than not, people will come in to see me with neck pain or pain that might be traveling down their arms as a result of sitting too long. So what we're going to talk about here with my friend is anatomy of the spine, how we should line up our bodies when we're sitting in a chair for a longer period of time. So when we talk about the spine, there's three natural curves of our spine. So the first is the lumbar lordosis, and then we have our thoracic kyphosis, and then we go back to the cervical spine, which is our neck, and that is also a lordosis. And so what we find sometimes is that the muscles along our neck can get really, really stiff and tight, which will almost flatten the neck. So when we look at ideal alignment and posture, we want to try and set up first kind of at the base of our pelvis so that everything above falls into place. And I'll show you guys on myself later on. But in terms of anatomy, when we look at the neck, we have our vertebral body. And if we look at the back, we have the spinous process and the transverse process on the side. The joints that are between each of the vertebrae are called the Fassett Joints. And there's a tiny little hole that comes out from the side that has nerves and blood vessels and lymphatic vessels, as well as a bunch of ligaments. For today, we'll just talk about the nerves. And then we also talk about joints called the U-joints. And those are the joints between each vertebrae that look like they're in the shape of a U. So it almost seems like there are two bowls sitting on one another, and those are mainly when our neck is going into a side bending position. So we're going to talk about how to set up the body so that we can have these joints move freely, we can have the nerves move freely so that we don't end up with any issues or any pain.